transfer like VHSs, audio cassettes, vinyls, and DVDs. Well, when I do transfer them, I have to edit them, which is a bit of a task to do in itself, because obviously waiting for whatever I'm transferring to convert, and there's another step to finish the product off. Basically what I'm doing, obviously transferring my fiance's DVDs, and then I've got to edit them. So I've got one in iMovie already, which is just here, and that's the DVD called Journey. It's Journey 2 actually, and so that's already loaded in ready. So what I do is I grab that and put it into the bottom section to be edited. So go to the beginning of the film, and then use the slide bar so I can expand or narrow. So I'm just going to expand it a little bit, and then find where it says play settings and whatever. So there's a play settings in that. I just move forward a little bit until it goes black. And then, so that's where I need to stop basically. So I go to the beginning of the film without clicking, otherwise it'll move that bar what I've set. So I go to the beginning of the recording until I get the double arrow of the bar in the centre with that yellow line. Click and hold, and then drag to the actual line that I've set. So there we go. As soon as I get to that bit, I let go of the actual trackpad cursor. Then I make the film smaller, go to the end of the film, and expand it again until I can find where I need to be to actually cut off the bit I don't need, really. So it's there, the black, and then I do the same thing but in the opposite direction. Okay, so that's now done. And then I make it smaller again, back to the beginning of the film, and then I go to this little button up top right corner. Okay, and then I select export file, and what that does, it allows me to save what I've done to a hard drive, data stick, whatever the media form I want to save it on. In this case it's a hard drive, HDD2, and so before I actually save it, I'm going to name it. So whatever the film I put in, I name it to that. So in this case it's Journey 2. So I'm going to type that in. Make sure it's got the full title in it. Mysterious Island. So when I import the film to iMovie, it varies in size, anywhere between 2 gigs and 8 gigs, because obviously films are different in length and size. So the film that I've imported there, I'm just going to get the info for you when it loads. such a small size when it gets recorded. The reason why it's that small is it's actually compressed, so I can fit more of the films onto the drive. But when I put it to iMovie, edit it, save it becomes larger. So in this case, it's 13.7 gigs. So it's an hour and a half. Okay. So once I've put the title of the film in, I press next, and it will say save as whatever the film is, and where would I like to put it. So I've saved the place as HDD2, which is the second drive down here, and I press save. Then obviously with the length of film, depending on what size it is, it goes from 20 minutes to an hour and a half, maybe, I don't know, but it all depends. So that's now saving onto that drive, as you can tell by the blinking blue light. Whilst that's doing that, I go over to my projects drive, which is up here, select and drag over, so it's now importing. But what I tend to do after I've recorded or converted the DVDs, the number of DVDs that I've done, I put that onto HDD1, and when I come to my fiance's, I transfer all those DVDs that I converted from HDD1 to projects, so I can clear that drive just in case. And then the reason why I do that is because obviously when the films are edited, it becomes larger and it uses quite a bit more space. Well, it uses more space and creates less to put more films on. So if I ever fill up the HDD2 up, I can go to HDD1, so it makes it easier for me to do stuff like that. So whilst editing the films, putting them on hard drives, I actually delete the recorded ones off the projects drive, so it frees up the space. But when one film's been processed, I leave it there until it's completely done, and then I can delete it. Then I process the other one, bring the next one ready. It's a cycle going over and over again. So I eat, sleep, repeat, basically. But yeah, at the moment it's converting onto, or editing down to that drive. So if we go to HDD2, go down a bit, and I'll have a look around. There we go, it's right there, being edited. So yeah, so if I look into how much memory I've got left on that drive, I just go into disk utility, select the drive I want, and I've got 354.2 gigs left. So on a normal day-to-day basis, I don't really need to use that drive. But if so happens, it's there ready for me. Because it's 500 gig, or both those drives are 500 gigs. So, and projects, it's basically 118.46 gigs to edit. So yeah, it's a long old process, and I'm willing to bet you that all those films will be over 500 gigs if I complete it all today. So, but I hardly doubt it though, because it obviously takes time and stuff like that. I'm quite useful for me to do. It's my tracking system that I have in my head, and I've got a visual on what I'm doing. Later on today, I should be able to get them all done today, but I don't know. That's the thing. But I've got 20 plus DVDs to convert still, and it's going to be a long process because obviously work. But yeah, that's basically what I've got to show today. Oh yeah, the other thing is, once I'm done, I'm heading home, I eject these drives, minimize everything, like literally delete all the projects on iMovie and stuff like that, frees up my internal drive, and take these drives out, pop them back, go home, and then what I've edited, I transfer them to my film hard drives, so there's main and backup. But at the minute, the drives here, I've put a load of films on one drive and filling up the next one, because they're 500 gigs anyway, so it can't hold many films. But I'm in the process of getting 2 4TB drives, so it doesn't just hold films, it holds my fiance's data as well, so there'll be her drives to use, and I can take out the 500 gigs that she's got, and I can store them somewhere else. Then with the other 2 500 gigs, I'm going to delete the data and use those 2 500 gigs for my data for when I'm working here. So it doesn't actually make sense in a way. If you're not computer literate, then you don't need to understand it all. But yeah, it's as you can tell, Laura 1, Laura Backup, which are the top 2, Laura's Films and Laura's Films 2, those are the next 2 down, and then Projects, that's the last one up here, and then HDV 1 and 2, which are here, which I take back and forth, and same with Take Home, which is this one here, and that's for like if I film anything, which I don't have time to edit here, I put it onto that drive. Any other data stuff like documentations, the pictures, whatever, that drive, and then I can put them onto my drives at home, and then maybe edit those videos at a later date. And even some of those videos I'll be putting onto YouTube, such as this one. So yeah, this is just a long process of converting stuff. Obviously with if I transfer a VHS, I do the same process, but if I find that the VHS tape is is too big for a DVD, so if my client says, can you put that onto a DVD? I said, yeah, not a problem. So if that file is too big for a DVD, because normally I would have the settings as high, so I put it as either medium or low, so it condenses that file down, so that helps with when I actually put it onto another program to burn that VHS onto DVD. Obviously, with the settings, it's a different quality and whatever. But for me, I like to keep the original video or audio, if it's vinyl or audio cassette tape, keeps that authenticity. I don't like using programs that make things look better if it's VHS or anything like that, because I feel that making videos or audios, it takes away from the original feel. But if the quality that I'm converting is high standard, so via 4 or 5K, maybe even 8K videos, then I'll keep it as that standard. But obviously the videos would have to be on hard drive, not DVD, because the memory is a lot higher, so you'll need a big hard drive, not a DVD. I know there are talks and things being done that CDs or DVDs are getting bigger in size, but still compact, but it's highly expensive. So like your standard DVD is 4.7 gigs. This hard drive based DVD that's in the works, I think it's like PB, 1 petabyte in size, so 1 petabyte on a DVD standard disc basically. You're talking hundreds of thousands of pounds, if not more. But yeah, if you don't have that money to spend, just go with a hard drive that's 20 terabytes. It's quite simple. If you've got a server at home that has multiple 20 terabyte hard drive, put it on that. It's quite simple really, isn't it? So, but yeah, this is what I do: editing, converting, editing, and putting on the hard drives, DVDs, whatever. But yeah, if you have any vinyls, audio cassettes, camcorders, DVDs, anything of that nature, and you want them on hard drives or data sticks, comment down below and we can organise something for you. So that's it for me today, guys. So hopefully